Back to the basics in the classroom, enacted in last year's budget and decided by the school board regents. Schools in New York are now starting to see the reintroduction of phonics-based learning for reading.
What's old is new again. Isabel Garcia joined us in the studio with details about the initiative as well as insight from local education experts. Isabel.
Hi, yes, good evening to both of you. The move comes after years of dwindling academic performance ratings for New York students, especially following the impacts of remote learning amid the COVID-19 pandemic. For the last decade or so, many districts were following the lead of Columbia University Teachers College, which primarily focused on memorization and contextual learning of words, whereas phonics provides lessons about the connections between letters and sounds. Now, this trend away from phonics is something many educators credit to literacy rates declining over the past several years, with most recent state testing showing about a 50-50 benchmark for students meeting literacy standards. Now, students will learn phonological awareness, or the ability to hear and manipulate the spoken parts of words, also morphology, or the study of basic prefixes or suffixes as appropriate by grade level. Well, today News 8 caught up with Susan Starrin, head of Sylvan Learning Tutoring Center locally, who weighs in on how these lessons will better prepare students for the future.
You know, we always look at it as the mechanics of learning to read, the sounding out, the basics, starting out with the letters and their sounds, moving on to short vowels, and then into blends, into more advanced skills like digraphs and double vowels, and then some of the exceptions to the rules in our English language. There's a big push to focus on those critical thinking skills. However, we have to make sure that kids have the foundations before we teach them how to critically analyze. So it's really like teaching kids to walk before they run. You know, we have to kind of focus on the mechanics, the basics of learning to read. Once that's set, kids have that skill forever.
And another component about phonics, Susan tells me, is patterns. And we're learning some districts are also sending out support letters for families detailing the reintroduction to phonics programming, noting when and how frequently students will be assessed, something we will, of course, continue to check in on. For now, reporting in the studio, Isabel Garcia, News 8.
Get the Rochester First streaming app today for everything you love from News 8 on demand, plus exclusive shows you won't see anywhere else. Search ROC and download for free on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV.